going on, everyone? Bobster1984 back again to do a video which is my reaction to the transfer deadline day, which was yesterday. This video is going up on the Wednesday night. Where do I start? I'll start with my own team, Newcastle United. After what was said by McLaren last week, I didn't believe anything was going to come in. It was more about focusing on making sure players didn't leave. And I'll tell you a little story. I was out with my friends, a few beers, Friday night. One of my pals said, I'd be really gutted if we got rid of Olivier Cayman. For whatever reason, we said, I doubt it. You know, he's a good lad. From what we've heard, reports and all that, and in games that he's played in the under-19s and stuff like that, there's been glowing references. Then out of nowhere, he puts a post on Twitter and he's signing for Lyon. So, couple that with us getting rid of Mehdi Abeid, let's put it this way. The lad played and looked alright when he played for Newcastle. I'm not going to say he was anything spectacular, but he played alright. And we let him go. Another one that I'm not going to say that Cayman or Abeid are going to be world beaters in the future, but we're letting players go for next to nothing, if not nothing. Nobody knows if they've actually went for a fee. And these players could develop at the other clubs after being with us for, I know Abeid was here since the 11-12 season, Cayman maybe 2 seasons. You're letting them go after spending however much time trying to develop these players for nothing. But as I say, there's no guarantee that they could go for anything worthy in the future. But why are Newcastle letting these players go? Why did we insist on putting Haris Vukic on a contract, then loaning him out to Wigan? I just don't understand. I mean, Vukic has been at Newcastle since 2008, I believe. He's played 19 games for Newcastle and scored 1 goal. Clearly, he's not done anything in that time, in those 7 years, to convince anybody that he's going forward or he's going to be anything other than an average squad player. Just let him go. I know the reasoning behind giving him the contract is because we could get him over fee for him in the future, which is fair enough, but is that actually going to happen? Don't think so. Anyway, the prerogative for Newcastle in this window was to not let anyone go. Rumours came about on Bank Holiday Monday night that Perez was wanted by Spurs, which immediately put everybody in a frenzy. I'm quite happy that we came out and said straight away on the morning of deadline day, look, it's not for sale, it's not going to happen. Fair play. Then I've read today that there was a rumour that we put a bid in or put an offer on the table for Ashley Cole. Whether or not that's true, I do not know, but I for one would have had him. I know he's not exactly the most well-liked person here in Newcastle because of whatever he did with Cheryl Cole, but let's put it this way, let's talk about football instead of who he was shagging, who he wasn't shagging. To be honest, I don't give a fuck. I'm here to talk about football, not here to talk about why I hate a player because he was fucking whoever. Anyway, I would have had him because I'm not the biggest fan of Haidara. I think there's a lot for him to learn, and I think he could have learned it from Cole. Whether, as I say, whether or not the rumour was true, whether or not we did even put an offer on the table is another thing. If we did, and he rejected it, fair play. Then nothing else really happened for Newcastle on deadline day, which I have to say is a success. I know a lot of people have been clambering around for another defender, but they've said it's not going to happen. I've also said that it's part of a plan to spend money in January and spend money next summer. If that happens, if we spend another 50 million of whatever the net spend is, 46 million. If we spend 46 million January, 46 million next summer, nobody can really argue. So getting back to what else happened on deadline day. Manchester United, let's start with them. Now, if any of my United fans watch this video and leave a comment saying they knew who Anthony Martial was before this rumour came about, then I'm sorry, the vast majority of yous are talking shite. The reason why they're all talking shite is because I believe a lot of people are spunking themselves ferociously over this signing because he's got potential, he's a good player on FIFA. Now, anybody that bases their knowledge on FIFA is an idiot. I'm sorry you are. I play FIFA, yes, the player he's alright on FIFA, doesn't mean there's anything in the future. Now, I'm not saying he's a bad player, not at all. He's a good player. He's a player that has got a lot of potential, but you do not spend £36 million on a player with potential. And obviously he's got add-ons in there as well. One of them is if he wins the Ballon d'Or. I mean, come on, you're getting yourselves a little bit over excited there, I think. I mean, I'm not, like I say, I'm not slagging him off. I'm not for 1 minute saying he's shit or he's going to be shit. You've signed a player with a lot of potential, but potential doesn't always come apparent. He scored 8 goals in the French league last year, and Man United need goals. And I'm sorry, you should have signed somebody who was proven. Arsenal were a team that required signings yesterday. They needed a striker. They didn't even get linked with anybody. You know, if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be fucking foaming. What is going on? And I think, to be brutally honest, it's stubbornness. It's Wenger who is stubborn. He believes that the team he's got is good enough to win the title, and it's not. I'm sorry, Arsenal fans, if you're watching again, like Man United fans, I'm not slagging your clubs off, just giving me your own opinion. You aren't good enough to win the title with the squad you've got. I think it was a big mistake, especially on Arsene Wenger's front, and for him to come out and give all this shit today that he said that, oh, Man United really signed Martial for €80 million. You're deflecting. Chelsea are another team who were quite questionable. I don't believe they put another bid in for Stones, but they ended up signing 2 completely random centre-backs that I've never heard of. I don't think Chelsea fans would be quite happy with that if they believe they're lacking anywhere, which I don't think they are. And then we get to the whole Saido Berahino bullshit. Now, if I was a West Brom fan, I wouldn't want to see the bastard play for my club ever again. Fair play, the chairman's come out last week and said, look, it's not for sale. Spurs have put another 2 bids in yesterday. And they were told point blank that it wasn't for sale. Now it looks like I had to pause the video because I had a coughing fit. I haven't been crying or doing drugs. Oh yeah, they put another 2 bids in. And I have to say it's pig-headedness from, or whatever the word is, from Daniel Levy. He's already been told the player's not going to be sold. Spurs are partly to blame for the whole Berahino situation. But as far as I'm concerned, if I was a West Brom fan, I would not want to see that spoilt little brat play for my club ever again. That's just my opinion. And then we get to Sunderland, who have spunked 7.75 million initially up front for Barini, and add-ons which could take it up to 9.5, I believe. I'm not sitting here saying he's a bad player. I'm not in the slightest. And any Mackims that see this video who go, he's the Geordie Slayer. You know, fair play to you. He scored 2 goals against Newcastle. Well done. That's what you really want to celebrate. If that's what you really want to see, is a Geordie Slayer, then you go and spunk off over that. That's up to you. However, to put your trust in a player that rejected you twice last year and still spend nearly 10 million on him, I don't get it. I really don't. But if he has a good season for you, fair play. I'll have egg on my face or whatever, but I don't really, at this minute in time, care what any Mackims think, because at the end of the day, everyone's entitled to their opinion. they're entitled to their opinion about Mitrovic being a waste of money. As far as I'm concerned, you can't really say the guy's a waste of money after 4 games. But that's just me. The transfer window in total has spent the most money. The clubs have spent the most money. And I have to say, Manchester City are the biggest offenders, as they always are. I can't stand Man City. I really can't. And I'll tell you why. Because I cannot stand the fact that players such as Raheem Sterling and Kevin De Bruyne are worth, apparently, in total, nearly £97 million. That's preposterous. I mean, Sterling is an alright player on his day. He's a good player on his day, sorry. But De Bruyne, a player that was sold to Wolfsburg last year for £18 million or euros, to be then signed a year later after one really good season. It was really good, but to be then sold for 54.5 million. I'm sorry, but the transfer window is just getting daft. But yeah, I'm happy with what Newcastle have done with this window. I'm happy with not selling anyone who was an important asset to the team, and I'm happy that we've started the season relatively okay. I know we're in the bottom 3 and we've got 2 points, but we've put in a couple of performances that I don't think we could have been capable of last year. And anyway, this is just my opinions on the transfer window. If you don't like it, leave us a comment. I appreciate anything that's positive, anything that's negative, any likes, any dislikes. Just give them. I'm not going to take anything to heart. I'm here to give me honest, no bullshit opinion, really. And yeah, if you like the video, give us a like, give us some comments, and subscribe. But yeah, that has been me. Whether or not you've enjoyed it is another thing. Thanks very much, Bobster1984. See you later.